So a good friend of mine sent me this next video, and when I watched it, I just sat there with my jaw on the floor. He sent it to me, and the text said, "This is pretty wild." And I thought, there ain't nothing too wild in this day and age, brother. It's we're living in the craziest time you could possibly imagine living in. Donald Trump's our president. How could things get any crazier? And then I clicked on the video, I watched it, and I just sat there with my jaw on the floor going, damn, like that's happening. And not only is it happening, it's happening right here in my home state of Tennessee, the state where I reside and live in every day. And I drive down the road every day. And now I say to myself, shit, you better really hold it between the lines. You better make sure you don't look down for a split second, because you could end up with a DUI even if you weren't drunk. And yeah, I actually said that out loud. So I'm going to bring this video up and we'll go over here to YouTube. We're going to pull this one up and I'm going to watch it with you. And yeah, I was like, dang. I messaged him back and I said, yeah, man, this is pretty wild. This is absolutely insane that things like this happens. But it could, it's happening here, and I'm sure it could be happening all across the country. So we're going to watch this together and just prepare to be shocked, folks. This is nuts.
This is corruption. We're ruining people's lives. We're being forced to ruin people's lives.
Former state troopers are coming forward tonight, blowing the whistle, they say, on a quota system that's leaving innocent people charged with crimes they did not commit. Good evening. I'm Lauren Lowry.
And I'm Marius Payton.
I'm Tracy Cornett. The next time you're out driving on the interstate, especially late, you're going to be thinking about what WSMV4 Investigates has now uncovered.
Chief investigative reporter Jeremy Finley is here with the latest on his sobering problem investigation.
Well, guys, what we've uncovered is more than just two former troopers coming forward about what they say is a system designed to pressure troopers into making as many DUI arrests as possible. We've also obtained a secretly recorded meeting and internal maps that troopers say explains why so many innocent people are being charged with DUI.
We've told you about Thomas Manis's arrest, and Stephanie Fair's, and Candace Slade's, and all the other people arrested for DUI by state troopers when they were completely sober. But we've never heard from any of the troopers who've arrested sober people for DUI until now.
This is corruption. We're ruining people's lives. We're being forced to ruin people's lives.
Do you know if you've ever arrested a sober driver for DUI?
Yes, sir. I'm sure I have.
Former troopers Ashley Smith and Adam Potts say there's a reason so many innocent people have been arrested for DUI in Tennessee by state troopers. A reason, they say, revealed in these internal maps and recorded audio from a troopers meeting in Chattanooga.
Arrest every DUI that you can get your hands on.
We've always thought this was a great thing because you want to get drunk drivers off the road. Do you feel like that this push to get DUIs is eventually having a negative outcome?
Absolutely. There's pressure to arrest DUIs.
Potts says it's not just pressure.
It's a quota.
I have to ask you, did you ever feel pressure just to pull someone over and arrest them for DUI just to make a quota?
Absolutely.
It's something directly addressed in recorded audio from a meeting with Captain Patrick Turner out of Chattanooga, obtained by WSMV4 Investigates.
I'm passing on the message of what the command staff wants. What does hard work look like? Well, it could look like arresting 100 plus DUIs a year.
In that meeting, it's stipulated to troopers on the midnight shift, 100 DUI arrests will be required each year per trooper.
If they're DUI, I want you to load the jail full of them.
Turner also talks about consequences when it comes to how many DUI arrests are made, as well as contacts, meaning drivers pulled over each shift.
You turn in 33 DUIs per year and 1.7 contacts, you're going to get spanked.
But despite what you just heard, this is what the THP emailed us. Quote, the Tennessee Highway Patrol does not have or use quotas for traffic stops, citations, or arrests. And there's more. In emails obtained through the Open Records Act, Captain Bruce McCarley sent out maps this year, subject line DUI map. It shows every county in District 8 and every trooper with a number next to it. These former troopers say those are the numbers of DUI arrests made by each trooper.
What is the message to you all? Why send this out to troopers?
You're not doing good enough because somebody else is beating you with the DUIs. You need to do better.
These former troopers say there are incentives for troopers to make DUI arrests.
The advantage of arresting somebody, whether they're really drunk or not, is I continue to get that premium overtime.
So does...
Folks, this truly is one of the craziest stories that I've ever watched. I'm going to go ahead and stop it right there. But it truly is crazy. And there's one question sitting and going through my mind as I hear them say, you have to have 100 DUIs per year. It's required. Well, I mean, I know this might be a very elementary question to ask, but how about if you bring down drunk driving, you bring it down, and you put a stop to it, then why would you need to make those arrests? Why would that be necessary then? This is one of those things where you say to yourself, like, what kind of world am I living in? And then you look around and you see, I mean, we can take this from Tennessee and go to the national level with it. When you look at what Donald Trump is doing and the way that he is just running over top of everybody, I know that, folks, everything in my mind will always circle back to Donald Trump. And the reason why is because when people sees Donald Trump be able to get away with the things he gets away with, then they are going to in turn and say, well, we can do that here in our small towns as well. And then will they ever face any accountability? Would these people ever be brought to justice or face any accountability? And like she said, look at the lives that have been ruined. They're being forced to ruin people's lives. Well, would anyone stand up for those people? Would anyone stand up against the people who ruined their lives and put a stop to it? That's the question. And would those people ever be held accountable? Or would the Donald Trumps of the world just shrug that off as well? Tough shit. That's the world we live in now. We live in a world where we really can't trust anyone. And the thing about it is that I want to make clear, because I know I do talk a whole lot about law enforcement on the channel, I've always respected it. I've always respected law enforcement. I've always believed that we should be respectful. I've always cooperated. Anytime I've been pulled over, I've always jumped through whatever hoop I had to jump through. And I've been very lucky, knock on wood, to not get a DUI. And, there's times that I was let go that I probably shouldn't have been, if I'm being brutally honest with you. But I look around and I say to myself, now, damn, I don't party near as hard as I used to. And I don't take near the risk that I once took back when I was young and dumb. And now I'm just, trying to take care of my family and do the best I can and sit here and talk to you all about this every day. And then you say to yourself, well, I better really be mindful and paying attention when I'm out and about now, because that's the world we live in, where people can just do this. And the thing about these kind of stories is you hear about them, they blow your mind, and then you never hear a follow-up. You never hear that anyone actually got brought to justice, or you never hear that anyone actually got their life back. Instead, it just seems to get worse, and these stories continue to get worse. And small towns all across this country, it's not just Tennessee. It just got called out here in Tennessee, but I'm sure there's counties and states and cities all across this country where you got people doing the same thing, and they go out there and they're told, hey, meet these quotas. Hey, make sure you arrest this many people for this. Well, again, what if the people aren't doing it? Couldn't you then turn around and say, hey, we brought crime down, or we brought drinking and driving down? It's at an all-time low now because nobody's doing it anymore. Why are you still needing to go out and wreck and ruin people's lives? But, when you stop and think about, and I know I always circle back to it, but when you stop and think about Donald Trump and his revenge presidency, and you truly do, think about that, well, there's people all across this country that wanted revenge too. There's people all across this country that wanted to find a way to ruin someone else's lives. And unfortunately, that's where we're going to be for a while, folks, and it sucks. But I do appreciate everyone for supporting what I do here on the channel. Wherever you go and whatever you do in this world, just be safe out there. It's truly crazy to me also, like the conversations that I've had to have with my friends and my family and my children, the conversations that I have to have with them to tell them, hey, this isn't really the America we were ever supposed to grow up in, and it's not what I grew up in, or at least it ain't what I thought it was. But now here we are, and we're trying to push through it the best we can. But it's amazing to me the conversations I've had to have with family and friends, to where I've had to say, you know what, be careful out there. Look over your shoulder. Keep it between the lines. Obey all the rules. Don't give them any reason to look your way, because they don't care if they ruin people's lives. That's the moral of the story. They don't. They do not care if they ruin people's lives. And as far as people like that goes in a blood red state, they got Donald Trump looking down on them. You think he's ever going to hold their feet to the fire? Unfortunately, no.